Everyone, welcome to Armbars Sidebars. Today we are joined by a promoter and producer who has been seen in a variety of promotions and programs, including the NWA, NWA affiliates, but perhaps he's best notable and most notable for running the United Wrestling Network, Championship Wrestling. David Marquez, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Ken.
I really wanted to have this interview. You kept coming up. I talked to Joe Galley. I talked to Johnny LaQuasto. I talked to Captain Yuma. I talked to Todd Kenley. It was like your name would come up. You and Adam Pearce tend to be the two names that came up the most.
That makes sense.
And you have a lot of influence, and you've done a ridiculous amount, way more than I even realized. I've known your work for, I don't know, maybe a decade, maybe a little more, from Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, and then later the NWA, Primetime, all that. But I didn't know the extent of it. I'm very excited to talk to you. Before we get into the official interview, where can people find you? What should people be checking out?
Well, I mean, our websites aren't always up to speed. At HollywoodWrestling.com, and I think it's Hollywood or UnitedWrestlingTV.com. My company's website is DavidMarquezProd.com, which is probably also not updated. But Facebook mostly, social media at CWF Hollywood, or if you are a glutton and you really want to follow me, it's at CWFH Marquez on Instagram and on Twitter, and I use those for business purposes, but it's also my personal stuff. So the human David Marquez is on there too. So if you have thoughts on politics or whatnot, it may not agree with what I stand for and think of. So just be warned before you go there.
Yeah, and we'll have links in the description of every video that links to your personals and Championship Wrestling, so people can check you out and anything up and coming. Is there a big upcoming show that I know you're at a show right now. For those of you who are watching, this is quite obvious. Those of you listening, maybe not. He's in front of the ring right now at a taping. Is there any big show coming up that you'd like to plug? We're normally a few weeks behind, but...
Well, I mean, every month we're here at the Irvine Improv, where we are now at the Irvine Spectrum in Irvine, California. That's in Orange County, probably about, I'd say, 15 minutes south of Disneyland. And this is where we shoot Championship Wrestling, presented by CarShield every month. And the program is syndicated to about 180 stations all over the country. And it's also available on Fight and YouTube. We have a brand new broadcast starting in Louisville, Kentucky, on My 58, the My Network station there. And I believe our first event is March 26th. And I don't know the Derby City handles off the top of my head, but because they're brand new. I think we just made them this week. And that's in conjunction with the Fox station there. And this is their sister station, the My Network station. And really looking forward to that. But like every show is a big show. Every show is a big event. So it's television. It might not be Raw, SmackDown, or Dynamite, but to me, it's just the same.
No, absolutely. And we'll definitely get into that, because I find your mindset very interesting from what I've gathered about the approach you want to take and the approach you have taken. And I definitely want to dive more into that. But